All right, I just tested. We are live on Kick. Wow, look at that. That was that easy. If only they would work so hard to make it easy for Rumble. But they don't like Rumble because they have a contract with YouTube. So they're never going to be nice to Rumble. Never, ever, 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 ever going to be nice to Rumble. So, yeah, I'm seeing that we're live. I guess we should do the show now. I don't know. It's up to you. You guys want to do a show?
And now a word from our sponsor, Gary's Wholesale Sausage Emporium. Are retail hot dog prices making you crazy? Come on down to Gary's for all your discount dog needs. Was this really the best we could do?
Blue Apron passed.
Okay. Let's get vulnerable, Langley. Let's get sexy. First caller gets 11 feet of Gary's signature summer sausage.
Blue Apron passed.
Hey, Zax is here at the first of the show. What are you other that? We got Zax. We got Emmanuel. Hi. We have Snorty Poopus is here. Hello. Who else is in here? Anybody else yet? No, that looks like that's it for right now. So we are live on Kick today. Give it a try. Started our account over there. And
you would say we are live and kicking?
We're live and kicking. Yeah, I think that works. Sure, what the hell, fuck it. We were hanging out in the chat over there with Mephisto, and I brought over something just for him because they're doing Short Circuit today, and both he and I suffer to the earworm song by DeBarge, Who is Johnny? So I have this clip. Just for Mephisto. Once you do it, you hook that earworm. It takes forever to get rid of an earworm once it's gotten into you. So, but anyway, happy Saturday, everybody. Hope everybody. I was on with Brandon, the anime guy, this morning. Over there with him and Pat S. It was fun getting to hang out with him. Dragonslayer, yes, the infamous dragoon from the Napoleonic War. Yeah. So I don't know, man. I'm tired. I got up way too early today.
Okay, okay. Here's for sex.
Mom. He was running from something, sir. And then he crashed into a DUI checkpoint, committed 10 felonies, and not to mention FUing a room full of cops.
You FU me all the time.
Fuck you, Kyle!
Kyle! And, hey, what's in that cup?
Pudding?
No, thank you, sir.
That is so gross.
What's in that cup?
No, Snort, that is a lie. Gary doesn't have 11 feet of sausage.
Mine's measured in the metric system, so it sounds bigger.
Show. Man, I never had seen this movie before. I saw it yesterday. I've seen posters of it in every video store that I know. However, as I told you before the show, we in Latin America, we got this movie promoted as a kids or family movie.
Yes, someone misunderstood the movie.
Yeah, imagine my surprise when I see all the carnage.
My God, there's so much death in this movie. I do have to say, because this film at the time was really promoted as something involving George Lucas, But if you were to go up to like IMDb and over onto what do you call it, Wikipedia, it would give you no mention of George Lucas. It'll mention Lucasfilm and Industrial Light and Magic, but it won't involve Lucas's name. But if you go to George Lucas's filmography, it states that he was directly involved with the production of this film. And I've always thought that was really queer because I remember back in the 80s when this movie came out, Starlog magazine, all those, everything, all the hype coming up about this, mentioning George Lucas's involvement. And then later, I don't know why that happened. Is it because of Disney and Paramount's involvement? I don't know. Because it is a Paramount film and it is tied in directly with Disney. So I don't know. I've always thought that was odd. But the fact is, Industrial Light and Magic was involved with this production. Disney had their own people working on it as well, but they apparently got along really well with the Industrial Light and Magic crew. So let me just read this from Wikipedia. The special effects were created by Industrial Light and Magic. The first use of, and this is true, the first use of ILM on a film that was outside of something by Lucasfilm. Phil Tippett had co-developed an animation technique that he would use later, or that he used in Empire Strikes Back, called go motion animation. You've heard me talk about it on here before, of which, it's kind of just this, it's almost absurd in the concept of what it is. You create a jarring as you're taking the photo. So what you're doing is jostling the table, platform, or camera mount right when you snap the picture. So it creates a boosh. So it creates a blurring. And that was how they were able to create, when you see the puppet walking in the cave and stuff, you see some slight blurring. And that's how that was done. It was also done with the Rancor in Return of the Jedi. It was done with, not so much with the Tauntaun, but it was done with the Imperial Walkers, which I thought was really cool. So Phil Tippett is a creature animator. That's what he's known for, Phil Tippett. Before he was hired by Industrial Light and Magic, he made a little film called Equinox. Equinox came out in 1970. I think he shot it in 69 and it came out in 70. And if you watch the film, you will go like deja vu on it. You're like, wait, I've seen all of this before, but where? Well, it's called a little film called Evil Dead. You'll catch a lot of things in that movie Equinox that would be later used in Evil Dead. And I thought that was interesting. And I've never heard Sam Raimi admit to being inspired by Equinox. I've never seen it in paper. But then again, I never read some of the material on it because I'm friends with the guy who wrote the book. And I've never read the book on the making of Evil Dead. I think I've seen this film since the early 1980s. It is early 1980s. It came out in 1981, the same year as Empire Strikes Back, right? Or no, Raiders. Same year as Raiders with Lost Ark. So I will tell you that this is the film where George Lucas met Ian McDiarmid, the guy who would go on to play.
Yeah.
And again, even though if you go to Wikipedia and IMDb, you'll see George Lucas' name not involved with this, but he was directly involved with the making of this film. He was there for some of it because he was already working over there anyway. So anyway, going back to it, a variation of stop motion animation is called go motion animation. This led to the film's nomination for the Academy Awards for Best Visual Effects, but it lost to another film by Industrial Light and Magic called Raiders of the Lost Ark. The only other visual effects nominee that year whose special effects were also provided by ILM included the hydraulic 40-foot, 12-meter tall model of the Dragon that consists of 16 puppets dedicated to flying, crawling, and breathing fire. And they had it had a full working neck, full working head and mouth, and eyes. And they also created a 30-foot wing that would spread, and they had created the upper thigh and foot, full scale. Hey, Shieldwall, what's up, buddy? So it's really amazing what they did for the making of this film, because there are shots where, like, when he is on the lake of fire down in the cave, and you see the head coming up behind him, the giant dragon head. That's not a miniature. That's the full size dragon head. And you see it twice. You see it in the reflection too. And when it shows him looking at the reflection, that is the full scale dragon head. But when they cut to looking up at him with the dragon behind him, that is the miniature. The visual effects in this are beautiful. The flying shots are really well done. There are some weak effects in it, like the scene where Sir Ralph Richardson is standing against that sky. That is clearly a blue screen sky. It's not real.
Sometimes they have very obvious blue screens, yeah. But that's the 80s, man.
When you see the interaction between the character and the puppets made for this, including all the baby dragons were full working puppets. And that creeped me out. I was 16 when this came out. I was like creeped out by those little fucking frog looking dragon babies. I was like, yeah, kill him.
Horrible.
Stab it.
They're really monsters.
Were harmed into making this film. And it's not really a dragon anyway. It's because a full dragon has 4 legs and wings. And this is the one that's got 2 back legs, and its front legs are the wings, and it walks on its hands with the wings like a bat or the pterodon.
A wyvern? It is a wyvern?
Weimer. That's it. Weimer. That's it.
I have to admit I was doing another thing while watching the movie, but I'm almost sure that it has 4 legs.
No, it walks on its winged hands like a bat.
Hey, Big Fontaine is with us from Rumble.
Hey, Vic.
And we have a super chat from RRTNZ.
Oh,
I don't know that name.
What's up, man? Yeah.
Yes,
Dragonslayer is the great forgotten fantasy film of the 80s. Not forgotten by me. I love this movie. Vermithrax pejorative is still the best and most menacing movie dragon of all time, in my opinion. Best name, too. Tippett's artistry is unmatched. And I wholly agree with you on this. Phil Tippett's work on this. And the 2 guys, 3 guys, I'm sorry. 4 guys. 4 guys. You've got Phil Tippett and Ken Ralston in charge of the creature effects. Then you have, what's his name? Give me a second. I got to dig in that drawer. I hate it when I forget a name. Dennis Muren. And then, of course, Brian Johnson was involved. And Brian's been involved in some great stuff from Space 1999, UFO, a lot of the early stuff with Jerry Anderson, worked on Alien. This guy was a great miniature guy. Brian Johnson, a master of miniatures. So it was Dennis Muren and Brian Johnson in charge of visual effects. And the dragon animators were Ken Ralston and Phil Tippett. Phil Tippett was the main guy in charge because he's the one who started using Go Motion animation. And again, for those of you just coming in, Go Motion animation is when it's stop motion animation. It's movement frame by frame. But right as you make the movement and you go to take the picture, right when you take the picture, you either jar, you smack the table, or you smack the camera mount, and it causes a slight blur. And you don't do it every frame, but you do it on the frames where it's moving fastest. And that's where you throw it in. And that's how they created the false look of motion with the animation done in this. It's fucking brilliant. And the first time it was used was again by Phil Tippett and Ken Ralston over on Empire Strikes Back.
Okay.
But
And
yeah,
they
and I
run-
love the way they say vermithrax in the movie. I really do. And it is said as a pejorative in the film.
Okay, let me run.
I
here.
know that I, Jefe, do not have your superior intellect and education. But could it be that once again, you are angry at something else and are looking to take it out on me?
That's my preemptive annoyance to you because you're getting ready to play a video and I wanted to do it before.
Okay, it's a video for RR. Yeah, there you go.
What's the matter? You scared? Noticeably? I'll say. Now stand back, I gotta practice my stabbing. No, please, help!
Back up, I
Love
gotta
that
practice my stabbing.
Thanks for your $10 Kiwi.
Thank you,
much
RRTNC.
And Andy gifted 5 memberships. Thanks, Andy.
Oh, thank you, Andy Monroe.
Who did they go to?
No, and when they went to Andy Masterson, Canadian Spider-Man, Awesome One, and Thanatos Felicitas. Nice.
Oh, thanks,
Hope you
Andy.
enjoy that, guys.
Hey, 11 Alpha's here. What's up, brother?
Hi, Alpha.
What is it? What is it?
No, I don't even know how to. So sorry, buddy. Yeah, the Dragonslayer dragon. I was reading. Okay,
Yeah.
Dragon is 2 hind legs. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. It's a Weimar. It's not a dragon.
Wyvern. Yeah.
And I remember at the time, all the D&D people were complaining about the movie, calling it a dragon. Future suspension on disbelief requires a realistic biology. Wyverns were preferable as dragons, are preferable. Yeah, they don't look like dinosaurs. They look like something else. And they're reminiscent of bats. Because even like when the babies just like look like really large vampire bats.
They are so ugly.
And my God, they killed that princess so quick. He turns the corner and she's already dead. And it's like, holy crap, she just ran in there. And they're like chomping on, nom, 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 nom. Good princess.
Imagine you're like 6 years old and you see that. That's traumatizing.
Yeah. and I was watching it. I was watching it yesterday, and you see one of the little dragons gnawing at her ankle, and I said, they are not going to go too far. That's the dragon taking the food. And yes, that's exactly what it happened. The little beast rip off her food and chew on it. Imagine looking that as a kid.
King, likely named by poor vermithrax.
I mean,
Probably.
the wizard gets stabbed in the chest with a knife and killed pretty much at the beginning. It's not very kid-friendly, too.
Yeah, then the helper of the wizard who is dying. That guy is dead and he doesn't know yet with that arrow sticking out of his chest.
Right.
Oh, that's almost funny. I mean, he's dying, which is sad, but he's like, hey, I've been shot and I'm still talking.
Yeah, I know. He's like, hey, I've been shot, but I'm still talking. He actually says that out loud.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then he remembers, oh, here's something you need to do now that I can't do it. And tells him about the ashes of the wizard. And he doesn't know what to do with it until it's almost too late.
Oh, that's
according to one of the production designers on the film, this is the creature for which they modeled the design of vermithrax on, which this is the pterosaur. Yeah. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
And I did want to point this out, that if you go over and find this movie over on Rotten Tomatoes, it's carrying an 84 for critical reviews and a 63, which 63, anything over 60 is good. So it's got a good score over on Dragonslayer. Not the best score for
No,
audience.
63 isn't that good. That's like barely
It's
a
not
pass.
bad either. It's like getting a D, which means you didn't fail.
Prison. I don't know. I think 63 is too low for this movie.
Yeah, I do too.
I think it is too, but I will accept that 84 by the critics, even though I don't.
Well, on
like
IMDb, it only has 6.6, and I think that is very low too.
Yeah, this is easily a 7 movie, and I don't. It's just people who fucking are assholes scoring movies that shouldn't be allowed to score movies. Have you seen the Reign of Fire Game of Thrones mashup video?
I have to say that.
No, I like Reign of Fire. By the way, it's a film that did we do it? Did we already do that?
No. Well, let me check because.
Yeah, double check because I know a long time ago I made a thumbnail for it because it's one I wanted to do a long time. In fact, it was one of the first ones I added to the list when we started doing the film strips. It was like the first. It would suck if we never got to do it because I would really like to do Reign of Fire.
When?
We did do it.
A Saturday last year.
I don't remember that at all.
Well, you don't remember watching this movie before either, and you did.
I did about half an hour in. The first half hour was like a first watch for me.
Dude, John still had his bird when they did Reign of Fire.
So, what does Snort say? I just fantasized that a woman killed by a vermithrax was an ex.
Oh, that sounds like a bad split up.
You think?
So let me get back to some of this stuff on this film because there's a lot of cool shit on this film that I want to read about. The film received generally positive reviews from critics, but we should be starting the slideshow. There we go. The special effects were created by Industrial Light and Magic for the first use of the film outside of Lucasfilm. Phil Tippett, blah, blah, blah. Read all of that. The film received generally positive reviews from critics, but it performed poorly at the box office, and that's true. I went to see it twice with my dad, grossing $14.1 million worldwide against a production budget of $18 million. It was nominated for an Academy Award for Best Original Score, which went to Chariots of Fire. So it lost its nominations. It lost all of its noms. It was nominated for a Hugo Award for Best Dramatic Presentation and was instead given to, again, Raiders of the Lost Ark, same production company involved with it. So Dragonslayer was released on DVD in the US by Paramount Home Entertainment. The film was re-released and remastered format in Blu-ray and 4K Ultra HD in 2023. And it's a huge hit on home video. And that's where it made its money back for Paramount. And I will also point out that this was an incredible step forward for Disney to team up with an external studio to make a film. And this is not a Disney movie by any measure.
You see, that was the way it was promoted as a Disney movie.
Okay. So according to Hal Barwood, Matthew Robbins, and they got the inspiration for Dragonslayer from The Sorcerer's Apprentice, a Disney movie, sequence in Fantasia. They later came up with a story after researching St. George and the Dragon. Barwood and Robbins rejected the traditional concepts of the medieval world to give the film more realism. Quote, "Our film has no knights in shining armor, no pennants streaming in the breeze, no delicate ladies with diaphanous veils waving from turreted castles, no courtly love, no holy grail. Instead, they set out to create a very strange world with a lot of weird values and customs steeped in superstition, where the clothes and manners of the people were rough, their homes and villages. It's almost like something out of really the movie Monty Python and the Holy Grail. It's just everything's grimy. They wanted something very primeval. So the idea of magic would be natural part of their existence. And that's the end quote there. For this reason, they chose to set the film after the end of the Roman rule in Britain, prior to the arrival of Christianity, though Christianity is shown in the film, and not as good guys.
No,
Barwood and
they're not.
Robbins began to hastily work on the story outline in June 25th of 79. I do want to point out, the way they represent Christians in this film is how they really more like those Christians of the later Middle Ages and going into the Spanish Inquisition, where
You
they
mean
became
zealots?
where they became zealots, and worse, became lethal, menacing. And I thought that was kind of weird they threw that in, because they weren't like that. At this time, Christians were fighting for their survival. So prior to the arrival of Christianity, Barwood and Robbins began hastily work on a story outline on June 25th of 1979 and completed it in early August. They received numerous refusals from various film studios due to their inexperience in budget negotiations. And that can kill you at the table. The screenplay was eventually accepted by Paramount Pictures and Walt Disney Pictures, becoming the two studios' second joint effort after Popeye. Dragon, about 25% of the film's budget went into the Dragon special effects. Graphic artist David Bunnett was assigned to design the look and was fed ideas on the movement mechanics, and then rendered the concept paper version. They decided early emphasis on flying, because the most important sequence is the final battle, which takes place in the air. Bunnett gave it a degree of personality, deliberately trying to avoid the creature from Alien when he designed it, because he felt that design was too hideous. But what I find interesting is it really reminiscent of Brian Frode's designs, from things like his work on The Hobbit, early Hobbit, to what's a Muppet movie where Dark Crystal, because Brian Frode does some great design work, and he tends to draw his dragons with a narrow end snout but with a hump, and that's the way Vermithrax looks in this film. So I felt he influenced it somehow. So anyway, after Bunnett handed his storyboard panels to the film crew, the dragon design used a wide variety of techniques. The final creature is a composite of several different models. Phil Tippett, shut that fucking cat up. Not now. The final creature is a composite of several different models. Phil Tippett of ILM finalized the design and sculpted a reference model, which Danny Lee of Disney Studios closely followed in constructing the larger dragon props for the close-up shots. 2 months later, Lee's team finished a 16-foot head. It's huge, man. It's fucking huge. And a neck assembly, a 30-foot tail, thighs, legs, claws capable of grabbing a man, and a 30-foot wide wing section. The parts were flown to Pinewood Studios outside London in the cargo hold of a Boeing 747. Brian Johnson, who I brought up earlier, he's a guy that goes all the way back to the Jerry Anderson days of, Thunderbirds and all that, was hired to supervise the special effects and began planning on and offset effects with various specialists. Dennis Murin, the effects cameraman, stated, quote, "We knew the dragon had a lot more importance to this film than some of the incidental things that appeared in only a few shots in Star Wars or The Empire Strikes Back. The dragon had to be presented in a way that the audience would be absolutely stunned," end quote. After the completion of principal photography, a special effects team of 80 people at ILM Studios in Northern California worked 8 months in producing 160 composite shots of the dragon. Chris Wallace sculpted and operated the dragon head used for close-up shots. That was the miniature head. And the head measured 8 feet in length. It's half the size. So it's still fucking huge. It's half the size of the full scale head. Stop and think about that. That just blows me away. The head measured 8 feet in length. The model was animated by a combination of radio controls, cable controls, air bladders, levers, and by hand, thus giving the illusion of a fully coordinated face with a wide range of expressions. Real World War II era flamethrowers were used for the dragon's fire breath effects. The animals used in the dragon's vocalizations included lions, tigers, leopards, jaguars, alligators, pigs, camels, and elephants. No bears, sorry, no lions, tigers, and bears. Phil Tippett built a model for the dragon's walking scene. He did not want to use standard stop motion animation techniques and had his team build a dragon model that would, and this is the use of rod puppetry too, using exposure rather than in between, as was once the standard. This process was called Go Motion by Tippett. It was tested with motion control in The Empire Strikes Back. To make the motion even smoother, they decided to use a motorized rod puppet. And this is why I brought up rod puppetry, with a computer program that recorded the creature's movement. So all that movement, like when you see it crawling in the cave scene, that's not people running the rods. That's a machine running the rods. So it makes the same movement every single time. And they do it really, really slow. To where it's not really frame by frame animation, becomes go motion because it blurs the movement. But what he did on Empire was slightly different. He did the jarring thing I told you about. Ken Ralston was assigned to the flying scenes. He built a model with an articulated aluminum skeleton with a wide range of motion. Ralston shot films of birds flying to incorporate their movements into the model. As with the walking dragon, the film model was filmed using go motion techniques again. The camera was programmed to tilt and move at various angles to convey a sensation of flight. Now, here's the fun part for me, the casting, because they have a great cast in this movie. Peter MacNicol first met Robbins in his office, the casting director, Debbie Brown, who had been MacNicol's work as, thank you. Need your, please keep talking, guys. I apologize. I'm sorry.
What? Oh.
Lauren came into the room, I think.
Okay. Yeah, the Emperor Palpatine is
Yeah.
the priest who gets tortured. I remember watching this yesterday. That guy's Palpatine. Specialist Brian. Specialist effects. Brian Johnson was born Brian Johnson.
How do you not change a name like that?
Yeah.
So Debbie Brown, who had seen MacNicol's work as Benvolio in Romeo and Juliet at the Guthrie Theater in Minneapolis, she had left a note backstage for him, encouraging him to move to New York, saying he would do very well there, end quote. He took her advice, and on his first day in New York City, MacNicol stopped by Brown's office to tell her he has now got a Manhattan residence. While there, he heard the loud voices of actors coming from Brown's audition room. He asked Brown if anything was right for him on this project. She responded with a smile, well, actually, there is. And an hour later, MacNicol was the front runner for the role of Galen in the movie. He was flown to England along with Caitlin Clarke, and she died young. Hers is a sad story. For a screen test within a day or two, Paramount and Disney both said yes, and he was renting a flat in Chelsea. MacNicol had grown up riding horses. His first paid gig was on a ranch near Arlington, Texas. So the young actor knew how to ride, even jump hurdles. He learned steeplechase, is what they're trying to say here. But during his pre-filming, he needed to learn to ride the type of trooper-style saddle that were used in the movie because he would have to ride on a camera during action sequences. His riding skills had to be stress tested. Quote, they took away my stirrups, they took away my reins, and they whipped the horse, and then they told me to windmill my arms and turn a complete circle in the saddle. Then they took away the saddle, end quote. The young actor had already worked for 2 years in classical repertory theater and was highly trained in voice production. Nevertheless, a voice coach was hired to achieve the mid-Atlantic sound the role required. He almost has an English accent, to be honest with you. You can catch it in his enunciation. Having studied stage combat at the University of Minnesota, 2 years of classes in tumbling, foil, saber, rapier, and dagger, he was eager to do much of his own fighting if they would allow. The role also required some juggling and magic tricks. For this, he was mentored by British prestidigitator Harold Taylor, who had previously performed for the British royal family. He was a professional magician. So Caitlin Clarke was initially hesitant to involve herself in the film as she was preparing to audition for a play in Chicago. Her agent insisted. After doing an audition tape, she was called back for more tests. Clarke failed them, but managed somehow to pass after doing another test at Robbins' insistence. She got along with Ralph Richardson and stated that he taught her more in one rehearsal than she had learned in years of acting classes. And that happens. People that end up working with great actors like Ralph Richardson, Olivier, even Michael Caine. Michael Caine has been credited with helping so many actors, including Denzel Washington. So Elliot Scott was hired to do the set design to give it a 6th century look. He temporarily converted the 13th century, I'm not even going to try to pronounce this Welsh castle, an Ulrich's ramshackle 6th century fortress. Fuck Welsh. Fuck Scottish, too, the way they spell words. It's like, fuck that. To the surprise of the locals, he built the entire village of Swanscombe on a farm outside of London. Although Scott extensively researched medieval architecture in the British Museum and his own library, he took some artistic liberties in creating the thatched roof houses, the granary, Simon's house, and smithy, and just so much of the castle itself, because he was unable to find enough information on the exact look. He built the interior of the Dragonslayer using 25,000 cubic feet of polystyrene and 40 tons of Welsh slate and shale. The shots of the Welsh and Scottish landscapes were extended through the use of 36 matte paintings. Nearly all of the outdoor scenes were shot in North Wales. The final scene was shot in Skye, Scotland. For costume design, the costumes were made by Anthony Mendelsohn, who consulted the British Museum. Again, a lot of British Museum mentioning. The London Library and his own reference files to evoke the designs of early Middle Ages. They are roughly stitched and use colors that would have been possible with the vegetable dyes of the time. The costumes of Cassidius and his court were designed by the fine silk as opposed to the coarsely woven clothes of the Erlanders. Here's really one I like a lot is the music, because Alex North was the composer and conductor for this. The film's Academy nominated score was composed by Alex North. The score's linear conception was developed through transparently layered and polyphonic orchestral texture, dominated by medieval style model harmony. It was largely based on 5 major thematic concepts. 1, the suffering of the Erlanders. 2, a magic motif. 3, the amulet. 4, the sacrificial virgins. And 5, the relationship between Galen and Valerian. North had 6 weeks to compose the score. That's actually a lot, which features, you look at some of the stuff like the shit that Ennio Morricone went through and John Williams went through with some of their films that were being edited right to the last minute. And they were scoring up to the last minute. So
sounds stressful.
So North, like I said, had 6 weeks to compose a score, which features music rejected from his score from Stanley Kubrick's 2001: A Space Odyssey. The opening sequence of Dragonslayer features a reworking of his original music for the Dawn of Man scene in 2001, which in that final film is played without music, and a waltz representing the dragon in flight that had been a variation of the cue from Space Station docking. in 2001: Space Odyssey, which was replaced later by the Blue Danube. North was disappointed by the resulting dragon scenes, as they do not use the entirety of the pieces he composed for them. He later stated that he had written a very lovely waltz for when the dragon first appears, with just a slight indication that this may not be a bad dragon. The waltz was replaced by tracks used earlier in the film. They wanted the dragon to be menacing from the get-go. The score was widely praised. Pauline Kael wrote in the New Yorker that the score was a beauty and that at times the music and the fiery dragons seemed almost as one. Royal S. Brown of Fanfare magazine praised the soundtrack as, quote, one of the best scores of '81, end quote. On April 22nd, 2010, a limited edition soundtrack CD was released by, once again, La La Land Records, because they were the ones doing it. They're the ones who did Legend and all that shit. So now, once it was released, the film grossed over $14 million in the U.S. with an estimated budget of $18 million. It later became a cult film, and it made its money back on home video. Critical response was relatively nice to him. The film has an 84% score over on Rotten Tomatoes, which I mentioned earlier. It carries a 6.8 average rating by critic consensus, and an atypically dark Disney adventure, Dragonslayer puts a realistic spin and some impressive special effects on a familiar tale, was written at Metacritic. The film has a weighted average score of 68 out of 100 based on 13 critics, indicating a generally favorable review. And even with the audience review, which I showed you here, it's like getting a D plus is what that is, according to the audience. So Gene Siskel and Roger both gave the film 3 stars out of 4 in their respective print reviews. Siskel praised the dazzling special effects and the convincing portrait of Ralph Richardson as the aged magician Ulrich. And Ebert called the scenes involving the dragon first rate, which is, I don't know, that's about as clinical a fucking, I don't know, that's not, I wouldn't call that great. You know, first rate. No, that's not what you say about something that you really liked. So anyway.
Not really, no.
Kevin Thomas of the Los Angeles Times called Vermithrax, quote, the greatest dragon yet, end quote, and praised the film for its effective evocation of the Dark Ages. David Denby of the New York praised Dragonslayer's special effects and lauded the film as being much better than Excalibur and Raiders of the Lost Ark. And to that I say, suck a dick, David Denby.
Yeah,
You
I
can
wouldn't
say
go
nice
that
things.
far.
You can say nice things about a movie without shitting on other films. You can do that. You can do that. In fact, that's your job as a critic. Fucking asshole. Anyway, David Starrett of the Christian Science Monitor praised the sets and pacing of the film, but criticized it for the lack of originality, stressing that MacNicol and Richardson's characters bore too many similarities to the heroes of Star Wars. A similar critique was given by John Coleman of the New Statesman, who called the film, quote, a turgid sword and sorcery fable with Ralph Richardson in a black-dated kind of Star Wars of Alec Guinness role. And I'm like, God, man, again, with the comparison things, it's annoying. I dislike critics who do that. Tim Pauline of the Monthly Film Bulletin criticized the film's lack of narrative drive and clarity to supplement the special effects. Upon the film's first television broadcast, Gannett News Service columnist Mike Hughes called the story slight and slow-paced, but admired the lyrical beauty of the settings and mood. Nonetheless, he warned, quote, in movie theaters, that came across wonderfully. On the little screen, this may be strictly specialized taste, end quote. Alex Canillas of Newsday criticized the focus on superstition and for being, quote, bereft of any sense of medieval time, place, or society, end quote. Let's get to Cinema Blend. Dirk Libby of Cinema Blend described that Dragonslayer, quote, tends to get overlooked even if you do remember it. There's a decent chance you had no idea it was technically a Disney movie, as it was a far cry from their normal output in the early 80s, and thus the Disney name was largely left off of the film, end quote. I don't think it's a fair comment at all. So, the vermithrax pejorative. Guillermo del Toro has stated that along with Maleficent and Sleeping Beauty, vermithrax is the favorite cinematic dragon. He further stated that, quote, one of the best and one of the strongest landmarks of dragon movies that almost nobody can overcome is Dragonslayer. The design of vermithrax pejorative is perhaps one of the most perfect creature designs ever made for film, end quote. The Song of Ice and Fire author George R.R. Martin once ranked the 5th best fantasy film of all time and called vermithrax, quote, the best dragon ever put on film with the coolest dragon name, end quote. Vermithrax is mentioned as an Easter egg in a list of dragons named in the 4th episode of the book series adaptation Game of Thrones. Fantasy author Alex Bedsoe stated, quote, everyone has a first dragon, the one that awoke their sense of wonder about these kinds of creatures. For many, it's Anne McCaffrey's elaborate world of Pern, where genetically engineered intelligent dragons bond with their riders. For others, it's Smaug in The Hobbit, guarding his hoard deep in a cave. But for me, it was the awesome Vermithrax from the 1981 film Dragonslayer, end quote. That's the next one. During filming of Return of the Jedi, in which Ian McDiarmid, who portrays a minor character, brother Jacobus in Dragonslayer, stars as the film's main antagonist, Emperor Palpatine. The ILM crew jokingly placed a model of Vermithrax in the arms of the Rancor model and took a picture. The picture was included in the Book of Star Wars Chronicles. A creature based on the appearance of the dragon appears in one of Jabba the Hutt's creature pens inside the Worlds of Star Wars trilogy. So that's pretty nifty. That's a lot of cool information. That's all I got to say. This actor right here, I was just talking about this with Anima before the show, and he's a God. It's hard to describe what he is because it's hard to think of him as a monster, but he is a monster in real life because of the choice he made.
Ooh.
And I'm trying to get to it. Give it a chance. I went back. Hopefully it comes to his face again. There it is.
Is he the one with the divorce?
He is he was a great character actor from the 50s going into the 60s, Twilight Zone, all the anthological sci-fi horror shows. He would appear in them. And his name is Albert Salmi, and he was just a great actor, great character actor. And if you go to look for this on IMDb, I don't think you'll find it there, but you'll find it on his Wikipedia page. But I knew about this because I've known about it since it happened. Back in the early 90s, 91 or 92, after the divorce with his wife, things got kind of difficult for him, and he had clinical depression. And he decided to end her and end himself with a pistol. And they were found several days later. And it's just, God, it's just messed up.
Yeah.
And he's such a great actor. And to end on such an ugly note, in case you're wondering, George R.R. Martin's 1 through 4 were the Lord of the Ring trilogy, The Princess Bride, The Wizard of Oz, and Lady Hawk.
What?
Hey, if you're going to steal from the best.
Yep. But don't ruin it in the process.
We have a lurker in Canada.
Oh, yeah. Canadistan.
Oh, sorry, Canadistan. Hi, Mike.
Miguel.
Dude, get in here.
Miguel, my
You
friend.
got a link?
Yeah, you can lurk on the panel.
And I think I'll show you some behind the scenes photos. There are 3 of them here.
Oh, yes, please. I like behind the scenes.
Well, these are just showing sets, really, is what this is. Oh, got to pull down the. So this is Ulrich's Castle in North Wales. I'm not going to try to pronounce that fucking word there.
Yeah, you don't want to break your tongue or something.
Dalwhiddlen. I don't know. Fuck Wales and their spelling and shit. But this is pretty cool. This was on location out in the woods. This is in Capelcurrig, North Wales. And this is really cool looking.
Yeah.
Again, Welsh countryside near the coast.
Wales is beautiful.
And this is where I think they went looking for the dragon scales.
Yes.
It's so fitting to shoot this in Wales too, because the animal of that country is the dragon.
Ironic, ain't it?
Shit, I know,
Okay.
because my granddad decided to marry a singer from Wales.
Thul with Elan.
Yeah, good.
Thul with Ellen.
You're welcome to come on the show and do all the enunciation. I'm not going to fucking bother.
I would gladly take over foreign languages, but not well. I'm not doing that.
Oh, there was another castle.
But why?
Can you drop the video down?
Yes.
Because I don't want to break my tongue, Martin.
This is the castle that was used for Ulrich's castle. They built around it.
That's nice.
And by the way, I don't think that language is so hard.
You feel the same way? It's just no fair making respect for the hand of a coin. It doesn't went to nip it yet. Can?
Piece of cake.
Yeah.
You can learn that in 2 weeks.
I don't know how hard it is, but sounds really beautiful, and I'm curious. I would like to try to give it a go.
It's
What?
difficult to learn.
Learn what? What are we talking about?
Welsh.
Oh,
But
no.
sounds nice.
It sounds difficult. My grandma was on TV because of that, because she's one of a handful of Welsh native speakers in Vienna.
One thing that's kind of cool about some of the BBC shows, if they are specifically made in Wales, they actually shoot 2 versions of those shows, one in English and the other one in Welsh. Several detective shows were filmed that way.
I hope you are not cursing us forever. RRTNC.
Looks like the cat got onto your keyboard. That's all that looks like to me.
Yeah, true.
Garrett, you're not ambassador material.
Oh, no.
Too much of a dick.
True. So much so, that's my middle name.
I know. You were born that way.
The first day on his job, it would be an international incident. By the end of the week, war.
This is so nice.
Oh,
When she finally
yes.
decides she wants to be a girl, she doesn't want to hide anymore. The scene earlier when she's swimming and he jumps in and dives under and sees she's a girl, he's so shocked. He's never seen a naked woman before. The look on his face is just priceless. And then, of course, he goes, I've known all along. Yeah, you have.
Yeah.
Man,
You definitely had no idea what a female looks like naked. That was the first for you.
I just got a news alert and I had to stop and read it because it's about that little kid, DJ Daniel, that was made a member of the Secret Service and all that shit.
Yeah.
What?
White House, that he just got diagnosed with 3 new tumors.
Fuck, man.
He's been through so many surgeries, man.
Poor
Oh.
kid.
And I'm disgusted by any of the reporters and media personalities out there that mocked him. Sweet kid.
Yeah.
Mock him? What for?
Because he was in the same room with Red Man Bad.
I don't know who that is.
The president.
Oh,
Whoa. We've been meth rated.
Huh?
hello, Raiders.
I guess they just ended the show.
Oh, dude. Don't be like that.
Meth said he would join us.
Oh, his show. I thought you were talking
Yeah, it's
about
Mephisto's
ending
show.
our show.
Just ended.
It's
And,
always at the top of the hour.
Make
Last
sure
hour
to get him a
started-
link if you haven't already given him one.
Yes, he
He's
has
in
a
the
link.
group.
Meth. Hey, Max Demon is here.
Hey, Max.
Hey, Max, what's up, dude?
I think one thing that maybe hurt this movie was its length, because it's almost 2 hours and it's very slow in its storytelling. Which I didn't mind. I often have problems with that, but not with this one. It's just such a nice ride.
Oh, I do like the scene. I was just thinking about when she first meets Ralph Richardson's character and says, "We found a claw." It's not a claw, that's a tooth. And you fight that?
Yeah. Oh, this is a funny scene when he tries to levitate the table and the table is being stubborn. Like just rattling and finally toppling over. Like, I don't want to levitate. Fuck you.
He still has no full control of the talisman. He thought he did.
Well, he's just in the middle of finding out that he doesn't have the powers that he thinks he does have. But in the end, he has some magic left. There's some magic in him, even without the...
Yeah, the
thing.
talisman helps him create a horse.
The talisman is gone by then.
Yeah,
He
that
destroys it.
he's using his own magic.
Yeah, that's his own magic.
Hey, look who's here.
I'm so wowie.
What up, you
Oh,
Nerdian?
you did it. so-
Canardian.
The Canadian.
Somebody kick him, he's
Oh.
torturing me.
Oh, man. But Adam, I love you.
You stay away from me.
Never.
Okay.
I'm a walking disease right now.
Oh,
Don't
joy.
get
Mike?
close to that.
Mike,
Yes, yes.
you brought this into existence.
I'm So
ornery inside real wrong.
That's right.
And Mephisto made this happen.
E.
I hope he's listening.
What's up, dude?
So he can go to bed now with that in his head.
Dragonslayer.
Hi, Snorty.
Bye, Snorts.
Hey, Penny.
Oh, Penny, I didn't see her. Hi, Penny.
You know what? I've never caught this movie.
Really?
What?
I'm serious. Yeah, I never have.
It's great.
Well, okay.
Although it didn't stick to my mind because I watched it with Gary and then we watched it again today. And for the first half hour, I was like, "This is like a first watch. Are you sure?" And then about half an hour in, I saw a scene. I was like, "Ah, yeah, we did watch that."
Oh yeah.
But
No,
then we watched it all.
I gotta get around to watching this because I know it's good because I've heard you guys talk about it. Like, you know, I've heard you and Tom and like, you know, a bunch of other people talk about this movie. So I gotta
It should have better ratings.
It should.
Read this one, Gary.
What?
Pedro Pascal will be Juan Cinco in the remake of Short Circuit.
Oh God.
I don't want to see this guy in everything.
Yeah.
Nobody does.
Robot with a
I
mustache.
don't want to see
That's
him
what
in
we need.
anything.
Oh. Johnny Five, have a stash.
They would probably give the robot a fucking stash too.
Oh yeah.
But hey, that's okay. The robot identifies as mustache.
Mustachio.
Yeah.
Max, no, this movie wasn't nothing like Disney by the time. This movie is dark. That's hell.
Yeah.
And gory.
Does it show breast?
It's the only thing you don't have.
Oh, that's
Wait,
why I haven't watched it
wait,
yet.
Wait, you have a side boob.
Yeah, I was going to say
okay,
that.
that's close enough. All right, fine. I'm
You have
partially.
naked girl in the water from behind.
Oh well, then okay, then I'm totally sold.
Hey, Beth.
Hi,
The Beth.
Hi, nerds.
I hope you were listening a couple
I'm a
minutes
man
ago.
of simple pleasures.
I was not listening. I
Oh,
was
you need to do
talking.
it again then, guys.
Do what again?
Wait.
They have a little something for you.
Ah.
Here it is. Here it is. There you go.
Perfection.
Gracias.
How you guys doing? What has been changed a lot in the past 24 hours?
I finished my first week of work. I don't know.
How did that go?
I am sunburnt. Like
Oh.
we had this heat wave in Calgary for the past week, and I've been in like 30 plus degree weather, which is, you know, whatever Fahrenheit. And
They don't know Celsius.
No, they don't. It's like I don't know. It's almost in its 70s or something like that, I guess. Maybe. I don't know.
30? No, 30 is about 85, I think.
85? Oh, okay. Well, whatever. And yeah, so I got sunburned, and my arms are slightly scratched up from all the branches. And being an arborist is kind of fun. So,
Oh, that's what you're doing now. That
Yes.
sounds great.
yeah, it's not too shabby. So,
I didn't know
It
arbiters
should wait-
work in the sun. Joking.
no. Well, Thursday wasn't too bad. Thursday was like the hottest, and the only saving grace, once we had like a lot of pruning and branches chopped off and stuff like that, the only saving grace, because it was in downtown Calgary, was because it was at this condo complex, the sprinklers came on. Oh yeah, in 80-degree weather, and 31 degrees Celsius. And it was like licking the sun hot, and I didn't mind.
Oh, you poor summer child. 31 is licking the sun hot. Oh,
I'm in Canada.
Wait.
Come on.
We
get 40 here
top of the hot territory.
Yeah, this kind of reminds me of living in Seattle. And the guy on the radio as I'm driving home from work says, it's a sweltering 72 degrees out.
Which is about 25. Balmy.
Oh, yeah. 25. That's not a problem.
70 degrees is room temp.
I worked outside when I was a gardener. I wasn't really a gardener, but I was doing some gardening at 38, 40, 41, 45. Oh, that sucked. That really sucked.
Yeah.
You power through, you power through, you get some blisters, but it's all good. Actually, the gardening job actually took me off the funk I was on. I was unemployed for almost a year, and I took whatever they offered me, and it was like this little gardening company. It was just the boss and me, and I worked hard, but it kind of got me off the funk and out of the house and not fucking thinking about putting a gun in my face.
Yeah, that was me for a year and a half.
Yeah, it sucked, but yeah. Yes, and this fucking metric system is so easy. It's just easy.
Yeah.
How do I measure a quarter of an inch? No, a 7/8 of an inch.
Yeah. Holy
shit. Anyway, guys, I just popped in to say good night, essentially. But I'm going to sleep. So enjoy Dragonslayer. I haven't seen Dragonslayer in forever. I think I was 8 last time I saw it. It came with a bunch of movies, including I think Cruel and original He-Man, I think.
Ooh.
Or was it Conan?
Oh, look, there's Sarah Jane Smith.
Either one of them. But yeah. So enjoy the conversation. I will be off and going to bed.
Right on.
Right? See you later.
And good night. Have a good time. See you later.
Later.
Liked her.
Who?
Sarah Jane. I was just kidding.
And Sarah Jane.
Oh man. It's just the dark hair, dark short hair. It's like, oh, it looks like Sarah Jane from Doctor Who. Oi, blacksmith. Could you make a dragon slaying whip in there?
I like that weapon. It looks very cool.
Oh yeah, dude from Ghostbusters 2 is in this. I forgot about that. With the hair. To me, it looks like a walking Q-tip. I'm sorry. That's just me.
What?
Dude with the hair from Ghostbusters 2. That's in this.
Dude with the hair? Beagle? Oh, no. Right. Yes,
Yeah.
That's right. Yes.
He just looks like a walking Q-tip. Like, it's the poofy hair. I just want to smoosh it.
You know what's really weird? I saw a guy a couple days ago in the supermarket. He was in the checkout line before me, and he was bald, and he looked like a thumb.
Really?
Like a thumb in a suit, yeah. He had no neck. It just went outside of his shirt and up, and then all the way around. It was so weird.
So it's just a head attached to, like, you know, like his chest.
No, he didn't
Like-
have a neck. It was just as wide as his head. So from behind, it looked like a thumb.
Oh my god, that's funny. Oh jeez. A walking thumb.
Yeah.
I would have loved to have seen that.
And the cashier, she caught that I was staring at him because I'm a regular at the supermarket, so we say hi and stuff. So she caught me staring at him and was kind of confused. And then he was done and walked out. And she had this, oh, now I get it, look on her face and bit her lip. Not to grin. she got it.
The both of you are baldest.
No.
No way. Have you seen the back of my head?
No, I mean she and the cashier, Anima and the cashier, they are baldest. They are.
I mean,
against
I'm
both
not
people.
gonna lie. It's pretty bald.
No,
so I mean,
you're trans bald.
oh yeah, totally. Speaking of funny things that we've seen, yesterday I saw this company. I didn't know that existed in Calgary, but apparently I found out where all the flirtatious kind of dumb women come from because it was called the Bimbo Company.
Oh,
I swear to God, Bimbo Company. I'm like, I just chuckled to myself. It's like, I wonder if they even thought about what they were naming their company.
Clearly not.
No. Oh man. So good. Yeah, Max. Lake Titicaca. I always love that name.
Yeah.
Lake Titicaca. Titties. Bimbos are us. Come pick up your discounted bimbo today. Only $49.95. Slightly used intermediate 40s. One might call her a MILF, but it's a good deal because she has plenty of miles waiting for her. Left.
Yes, it is. Bimbo is a major baker.
Yep.
Oh, this poor girl. She went all high and mighty. It is my honor. It is my duty. And jump.
It is, though. Her dad fucked up.
Yeah.
And she stood up for it.
He will make him pay by giving her life for what he did.
Dun, dun,
That
dun.
was
The
an
sad part
interesting
is
twist.
she really didn't have to die because Galen was there to fight and kill the dragon. So
Yep.
her death was unnecessary. She had made it a pact that she had to go because of what he did.
Yeah, she died because the guy was late. Let's face it.
That's not realistic. Guys don't need to ask for directions. We know where we're going. Laid my ass.
Yeah,
The dragon
I remember
was
once
late.
someone said, "Man, you're lost." I went, "No, I'm not. I'm on planet Earth. I know where I'm at.
Ah,
If you know what planet you're on, you are not lost."
that's right. I know exactly where I am. It's where my stuff is.
Yeah, Gary, we totally didn't get lost driving back from Springfield from the bank. It was a deliberate detour, right?
Yeah.
God damn it.
I
11
think
Alpha. In my whole life, I have never thought of that, and now I cannot unsee it in my mind, and I cannot forget it. Thank you for ruining that.
You've done your civic duty.
Yeah, I guess he enjoyed that.
Well, when I was in high school, I first heard of Lake Titicaca. I laughed so fucking hard.
Yeah, I know. It's
I'm
hard
like-
not to laugh.
And I looked at my dad. I'm like, Titty Caca? Is this for real? Does this place really exist? He's like, yeah, it really exists.
Yeah.
Titty Caca. Titty Caca.
Growing up speaking German, we just found it weird. It didn't have that meaning to us.
That's to us.
Little did we all know those natives at the time had a excellent sense of humor.
And what's really cool about it is you can go up there and you can both freeze to death and get a sunburn.
Yep.
Yep.
Kind of weird, isn't it?
And become hypoxic.
Yeah.
All the fun stuff.
Or while you're puking.
That's right.
There's so many things that could kill you at Lake Titicaca.
Sounds almost as bad as Australia.
Oh, yeah.
Nothing's as bad as Australia.
No, that's true.
That's true.
Everything
Except for New
is.
Zealand. It's just like Australia without all the cool shit.
I love how Terry Pratchett shits on Australia beautifully. He has a whole book that is set in a continent that it is Australia. You read that book, you know. And one of his characters is deaf, right? And Rincewind, the fuck-up magician that just refuses to die, he lands on that continent by some weird shit that happens to him. So Death has to go look up the animals in Australia, the wildlife, to evaluate the danger he's in. And he goes into his library and says to the library, give me all the information on animals that kill you on that continent. And he's slammed by books. And after his assistant digs him out, he says, okay, give me the animals that won't kill. And down from the ceiling floats a single piece of paper. And on it says, some of the sheep, maybe.
Some of the sheep, maybe. Oh, my God.
I love that. It's one of my favorite scenes Pratchett ever wrote. It's one of my favorite stories.
Scares
I love
me.
everything that has Rincewind in it is brilliant and funny. But
So what you're saying is everything in Australia, the whole list weighs the size of a boulder. It's like, yes,
see.
yes, it does. That's like everything.
It has the most poisonous spider in the world. It has
Yeah.
the most poisonous snake in the world. And it is home to the second highest great white shark attacks in the world.
Yep.
I remember I got invited to go to work for Microsoft in Australia, and I turned them down. I went, no, I saw a video, and yeah, I'm out.
Yeah.
that continent is blacklisted for me. Never going to go there.
I got a great aunt and a few cousins that live in Australia. I've never met them before in my entire life, but the fact that everything wants to kill me there, it's like, no. Good knowing you. I know you exist. Never talked to you, but no.
Dude, you live in Canadistan. Your government wants to kill you.
Well, yeah, that's true now. So, at least here in Canada, there's incentive. It's not much of an incentive, but,
She's there all heartbroken. Thinking, oh, he's in love with the princess.
Yeah, because she's blind.
There she sat, all brokenhearted, paid the shit and only farted.
What the fuck, Gary?
That's
Oh,
from
I
the old
remember
pay
that poem.
toilets. Yeah, it's
Yep.
from the old pay toilets.
You better get ready for those anniversaries, Anima.
What?
Exactly.
Oh, yes.
Shut up, you.
Oh, Max. Saturday is a day for unwind, relax, let out some steam, and yes, being 12 again.
I have an excuse. I have a temperature, so I'm allowed to say stupid shit.
Everybody has a temperature.
Yeah. Silly woman.
What she wanted to say is that she has.
I'm hot, okay?
Oh.
He said he knows.
Ah, mon chéri. I bet you are.
That was very gay of you, Gary.
No, it was very French.
I got a fever. And the only prescription is more cowbell.
I like that clip.
That's right.
And to write Gary's Day, I have another clip.
I've got 5 terrorists going southeast on Bakalakadaka Street.
Bakalakadaka Street. I love
Bakalaka. I know. You know what? It almost reminds me of one clip in the old Transformers cartoon from the 80s. I think it was like in season 3. They called this place in the Middle East Carbomia. Population.
What?
I'm serious.
What?
No, I'm serious. I could show you. Population. What was it? Population 60,000 people, 100,000 camels. And it's what made Casey Kasem quit doing the series from there on in. So, because he didn't appreciate the joke. Oh man, yeah, he didn't like it.
Well, it can lead to some explosive situations.
Let's see. I wonder if I can find it. Oh, it's so good. So good. Well, you don't get it as a kid, right? You know, when you're watching, you know, like an old cartoon, and you know, it isn't until later on that it's like, oh, okay. Yeah, I get it. I get it. So
I think Alpha is ahead of you, Mike.
Oh,
The
this is so
Socialist Democratic Federated Republic of Carbomia.
Is the Socialist Democratic Federated Republic of Carbomia. So, oh man, good times, good times. So every time I hear Bakalakadaka Street, I'm thinking of Carbomia. Oh, there we go. I actually found it. Nice.
The thing is, the dragon laid some eggs, and we have 3 little dragonettes. But where is the father? There's another dragon around there. Wait,
there you go. I'll share it with you.
Yes, I have to pause this, remove it, and bring this up. Thank you.
See, I'm not
You're
kidding.
making things even more difficult.
Oh, it was 4,000 people, 10,000 camels.
What the fuck? Oh, geez.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Ooh, we had
You're
baby
too
dragon.
white to say that, Anima.
I am very white. I'm as white as they come.
She's white, so white. Anime so white to me.
Oh, man.
I don't tan, I sunburn.
Yeah, I don't burn, I bake.
Yeah.
So.
mean, I can tan a little bit if I'm very careful and stay mostly in the shadow. I found that out in on Fuerteventura. I did a job there in my early 20s. And my God, I've never been so brown before. And I wasn't out in the sun, I was working.
Oh, what were you doing?
I was with the animator team, helped them study a new show.
Oh.
Yeah, because I was already doing internships at the Opera House, both Opera Houses in Vienna. And my colleagues from the fitness center knew that. And one of them was hired to help do choreographies and shit. And she knew that I knew how to write I don't know the English term. You have a basically with operas, it's on one side is the sheet music, on the right side, and on the left side, you can write all your stuff and make clues in the sheet music, so you know what's happening when.
Okay.
And here's the dragon. Here comes the dragon.
Bomb, bomb, bomb.
It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, that's the large scale. Full size.
And as much as I like the CGI dragons in House of the Dragon, it's just a different thing when you have the real thing there. It feels differently.
This guy he's taking it up all too well. He never fears. Yeah, I mean, seeing the freaking monster spitting flames at you, and it's okay.
Well, he had it coming. He killed her babies.
Yeah.
He angered mommy. Now he has to deal with that.
It's what you get when you piss off mama.
So this movie seems like Disney's second bad idea after the black hole ripping up Star Wars. You get Dragonslayer riding the coattails of Conan or Excalibur. No, I wouldn't say that.
No, it's its own thing.
Yeah, it doesn't reminisce any of those movies. And the black hole wasn't a ripoff of Star Wars either.
I don't know that one.
That's true.
The black hole. That movie is.
Oh, you gotta watch it.
Yes.
Yeah. You need to.
Indeed.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
It is more.
It's space adventure.
Yeah.
The dark side.
Gary, what's that novel?
It's the Cygnus and the Palomino are the two ships.
Yeah. Dude. When the book in which the Nautilus is marooned under a volcano.
Oh,
what's the name?
Mysterious Island.
Yes, that is the black hole is the mysterious island in space, because even Dr. Reinhardt that guy is Captain Nemo.
Yeah,
played by a German actor. Maximilian Schell.
Oh, Max Schell. I like him. My dad is a huge fan.
Oh, he plays a madman in this one.
Yeah, really cool.
He's good at everything he plays.
My favorite role is when he played the German officer in Bridge Too Far, and he sends his attaché over to get the British to surrender, and the British yells down at him from the top of this roof, "What do you want?" He says, "My commander would like to discuss options for surrender." And he turns around and looks at Anthony Hopkins, who's his commanding officer, and he goes, "What do you want me to say?" "Tell him to go to hell." He goes, "All right." Turns and looks over the edge. He goes, I'm sorry, we have not the facilities to take you prisoner. Is there anything else? The German's like, no, we're never mind. And he just fucking leaves. Love that fucking movie.
Okay, 11 Alpha says that Maximilian Schell was Swiss, although he was born and died in Austria. Wouldn't that make him Austrian?
No, it would make him a Swiss who lived in Austria.
No, in Austria. He was born in Austria.
It depends on how he was raised, I guess. If his parents were Swiss and completely living in that way and talking that dialect, I mean, I guess he had the Austrian passport being born there, but I don't know.
The world will never know.
She annoyed me a little.
Who?
Really?
Well, she's running after him. Okay, I understand that. But then she gets so bossy. And when she takes that stone and wants to smash the amulet, I'm like,
really?
That bitch, that's for him to do, not for you.
Really? The lack of self-awareness.
I think I had to smash a stone now, just because of all the trouble I've been through. I don't think so. I think I'm supposed to smash it, so go bugger off.
I like how at the end everybody took credit for killing the dragon.
Yeah, the king did.
The religious guy says, "Oh, it was all praying," and the king just come and stab the carcass of the dragon. And just proclaim the Dragonslayer.
Oh, dude, the second religious leader is an even bigger nut job than the first one.
That's that. Yeah. He's one of the fathers that from the village, and that's that actor who I told you about that ended himself and his wife.
The Holy Hand Grenade of Antioch.
The Holy Hand Grenade of Antioch. First thou hast pulled the pin, thence thou counteth to 4 or 5. Count to 5. Not to 2 unless it immediately is preceded by 3.
Okay, so Max Schell had the Swiss citizenship. I guess they fled in the 30s because of reasons, and I assume they took up Swiss citizenship because Switzerland stayed out of all the madness. So they were safe there.
First,
They said,
thou shalt take out thy
Swiss
holy
said,
pen.
we shall benefit financially from this war, but we want no part in it.
I was born in Vienna. I didn't know that. Look at that. Born in my city.
That's evil, J.J. Jameson.
Lot of fire.
Yeah, just a bit.
I mean, it has a dragon, so. Oh, I love that. He brings him back from the dead, and the first thing he asks him is, do you have anything to eat?
Everything to eat.
I haven't eaten in a while.
I'm feeling a little peckish.
Good one, Sander.
I just want to avoid saying any words that trigger YouTube.
It was a minor inconvenience.
No, because I say the flight to Switzerland because of reasons, and Sander says, "Do you always call 1 or 2 reasons?"
Yes.
I just wanted to avoid any of the trigger words. So.
A minor inconvenience to other countries. Nothing to see here. Carry on. Zach.
By the way, Mike, I got her watching a show that I really like called Hunting Himmler.
Really?
And she started watching it and started seeing what I was talking about, that once you start looking at the compelling evidence to believe that Adolf died is really fucking stupid.
Yeah, it is.
Because there's
no
evidence. There's
died
no
eventually.
evidence. Well, I mean, in Germany.
Yeah. It's so nuts. Yeah, because I watched a few episodes of that, and it's like, oh, wow. It's
they ended up turning all their evidence over to the CIA and to the FBI. And now it's been released. Some of the intel was released that says, yeah, that guy did not die in Germany. That
was he
king of Spain helped him escape.
And the Catholic Church on top of that as well.
No, there's no evidence of that.
Well, there is.
As a Catholic, I looked into it because I wanted to know whether I was in a shitty religion or not. And I looked in, I'm like, no. There's more evidence of one thing that 4 times they attempted to ass in 8 him. And they were part of the underground trying to get people out of Germany. Germany.
Okay.
Hey, Helen Place. Dude, how you been?
Hello.
Gary Zach says we need to watch SAS Rogue Heroes. We started that, right?
I've already seen it.
I think I've seen the beginning of it.
I watched every episode.
Oh, it's Gandalf.
Yeah, he's doing a Gandalf show here. Like calling wind and weather.
You
showing off to
shall not pass.
Yeah, in the end, how does he defeat the dragon?
Yeah.
The boy smashes the amulet, and that sets off the bomb that is the wizard.
There's the Tesseract from Avengers, so I can see it being a multiversal crossover here. You chose poorly. No.
Helen Place. Yes, check this movie out. You're not gonna be wasting your time.
And if you have an IMDb account, give it a good rating. It deserves to be rated better than it is right now.
No,
That's at least a 7.
That was Rotten Tomatoes.
No, both. It's only 6.6 on IMDb. It should be a 7 at least. Rotten Tomatoes was 63. How do I remember these?
I remember when Rotten Tomatoes used to be a parody thing.
It still is. You go for the audience score, not the critic score.
They become a parody of themselves.
Hey, that sounds like a train.
Yeah, imagine that.
Yeah,
Everybody knows Mike is living in a train station.
Yeah, I'm a hobo.
Look at that thing.
I'm sorry, I'm drawing right now. Did you say you're a homo?
Hobo.
Oh, okay. That's a completely different word.
I know. I'm sorry to disappoint.
Yeah, I had hope.
Because right now
Well,
you're robbery.
I think most of the effects really hold up today.
Yep. There's only
It still looks
a
Yeah, the
handful
blue
of-
screen effects with the wizard are pretty bad, but I
Yeah.
do like the visual effects that Tippett and Murin did.
Dude, when the dragon is flying, it's beautiful.
Yeah. And there goes the wizard bomb.
The Wizard Bomb. The Wizard of Boom.
That's how he kills the dragon. He explodes.
Yeah.
I am the wizard Shaboom.
And they even threw in the eclipse.
Oh, you got to have that.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to kill
Yeah.
a dragon, you do it when something special happens.
Yeah, exactly. Always. You know, it's always cloudy. There's always an eclipse. It's always at night. You know,
Lots
the
of
occasional
fog.
thunder and lightning. Yeah, lots of fog. You know, probably in a dense forest sometimes, but otherwise, you know, generally on a cliff. You know, why isn't it ever on a sunny day, like, you know, underneath the ocean somewhere,
Because
you know,
you need to be in the mood, Mike.
in a tidal
Sunny-
pool?
Sunny day on the beach is not going to get you into Dragonslayer mood.
Well,
It needs to be gloomy.
mix it up. Come on. Throw something in we
Max?
never expected.
Max, indeed, we did do.
Yeah, that wasn't
Rain
too
of
bad.
Fire.
We did do what?
Rain
Rain
of
of Fire.
Okay, try not talking at the same time. Martin, why don't
Rain
you just answer?
of Fire.
Oh, Rain of
Rain
Fire.
of
yeah.
Fire.
Rain of Fire.
God damn, Mike. That was awesome.
Oh, please don't. Put it down. That song is terrible.
What song?
If you say so.
Yeah,
Or
Standard
is
just
it?
quoted. Well, he almost got it. Few mistakes in there. The first line of a very stupid Austrian pop song. Was all the hype back in the, I think, 90s?
I think so. He's so beautiful. He is so great.
I mean, we have Falco, okay? We have a lot of bad things too.
Well, yeah, but at least I had Falco.
Oh, and we're very proud of him.
Yeah.
He's definitely the king of modern Austrian music.
Yeah.
And he died a stupid death.
How did he die again? I forget.
In, I think, Monaco, speeding while drunk and on drugs.
Oh, well, that would do it then.
Crashed
Yeah,
his
so
car.
typical rocker
That
death.
tends to do it, yeah.
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 That's true. Yes.
Wow, 11 Alpha. I don't
Yes.
know if I would go that far.
Agree, disagree. Because it's true.
I would put it that way. Mozart was the Falco of his times.
Yeah.
Genius bad boy. Or was it the Dominican Republic? I thought it was Monaco. Rich people place.
Yeah. Yes, that was a good tune.
That was Dragonslayer, folks. It really is a classic. and does not get the love that it deserves.
And it has nothing to do with Falco.
We just the first 40 minutes of the stream have a lot of information about this movie, so it was okay to derail a little bit.
Yeah.
Or Paul Wegener.
I worked with a Paul Wegener.
Oh, I'm talking about the German actor, director, writer.
I'm talking about the artist. Sculptor.
Sander's pouring oil into the flames here. He says Salieri was better. Let's not open that can of worms, shall we?
No,
I love in the movie. They make Salieri out to be such a slime ball.
Oh, they make him the bad guy.
Well, yeah, he's much maligned in that movie. Tom Hulse. Mark Hamill played him on Broadway, but I'm glad they cast Tom Hulse, because Mark Hamill would not have done very well with that role.
Well, I still think Wagner is better.
Oh, really?
Yes, my man. Richard Wagner is awesome.
I've been to his house.
Wagner was
Really?
Adolf's favorite
Yeah.
too. So you have that in common with Adolf.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
and we both drink water and breathe air. You dick.
Oh, it's not that vague a connection.
of course,
Coincidence.
of course, Adolf
Wagner
would
is
pick
a very
him.
specific thing.
Dude,
He-
what are you talking about? You're an artist like the Mustache Man.
Oh my
What?
god!
No way! I'm going to quit drawing. In just a second, I'm going to quit drawing completely.
I thought I knew you.
Are your feelings hurt now, Mike?
I once drew a mustache.
Everything I know is a lie.
I once drew a mustache on my cat.
Oh my god!
Oh,
And
stop it.
It made the cat look like Shitler.
Stop it.
The poor kitty.
One of
Why?
the stray cats in my favorite place for morning coffee in Croatia had a black spot of fur on his snout. So he had that nickname, yeah.
Right.
They have a lot of cow cats there, a lot of black and white cats, and he had that mustache. So sweetest
Meow.
cat.
Meow, 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 meow.
Well,
Oh,
they picture his
Rid
age.
of all the mice. Oh my god.
Oh my god! Gary, you have to see this comment.
I've seen this, yeah.
Oh my god!
Oh my god, yes. There's another meme that shows one of his paintings, the one of the stairwell on the outside of the house. It says, "You see this painting? You like it? Now you like something. You like it. You know who."
Well, there was
Somebody-
one good thing that he did, and that is
Milk
Fortran.
Oh come on, Solar does it.
Good one, Soul Assassin.
Wait a minute. There was a graphic novel about something like this. So I remember it being called Mouse.
Yes.
Man. Yeah.
In fact, there are two of them.
Oh man. But then he went to the dark side, and oh man, that Kaufman guy. Oh jeez. Oh shit.
It's nice to read again.
Oh yeah.
All right.
What is Tim sending
Get some
me?
more art done today. Look at that.
Wait.
Really nice.
Boom. There you go. Oh, he was strong arming as past 12?
Mm.
Damn.
What's that?
This guy, he's holding a past 12 strong arm. Okay, no.
I don't see the comment. What are you talking about?
Minecraft.
The guy you're drawing.
Oh, I didn't know what the fuck you were talking about. I'm looking on the screen for somebody to have said something.
No. The shotgun is a past 12, and he's holding it with one arm. It's called a strong arm.
Well, he loses it a second later when he gets shot in the bicep.
Yeah.
That will make you drop whatever you're holding.
Unless you're holding it with the other hand.
Yeah, sure.
Minecraft.
We will build a community at the blocks. It will be fun.
Well, I didn't get to say it earlier, but my teacher was very open about the possibility that he got away and didn't die that day. So
I used to believe it was, but it's like basically they tested the skull. It was a female. And then it's like, well, you have eyewitness testimony. It's like of people who worked for him and believed in the cause.
Yeah, right.
And you're gonna believe them.
Because they would never lie to you.
He totally did himself in. Totally topped himself. He was totally,
Yeah. Why would they lie? Silly.
There's no reason to lie.
No.
It's not that we're dreaming of the Fifth Reich.
And then there's the image of the that alley in Tiergarten with all the lanterns cut down. Why would you do that? Oh, so you could start a plane, maybe?
Oh yeah, because the main Strauss in front of the bunker. The day before, all the light posts were cut down, so the highway was wide enough for a plane, and they did land a plane there the night before. So it was a test flight. South American Yahtzee hunting was wild and following decades after WW2. Yep. And what they ended up doing on that show, it started out as like a lark. Like, oh, we're not going to find anything. And then they started finding things. And they're like, oh, shit, we're finding things. Because Brett Baer, or not Brett Baer, what's his name? The CIA guy that George Clooney based his character on in Syriana. He's a CIA analyst. Anyway, so he's the head of this show, and he admitted, he says, yeah, I went in and thought it'd be a paycheck. Just like look around, find some stuff and go, yeah, fine. Get a season out of it. He says, but then we sent guys in there. One of the guys, you know him from, he fought in the MMA Special Forces, and he was also one of the military members that were hunting. I just forgot his name. Big mustache from Iraq. Saddam Hussein. He was involved with the hunt for Saddam Hussein, and so he brought the same techniques of how they look for high value targets, and he used that skill set. And it's like they just kept finding shit, and it's like, we found more shit. Oh, look at this! There's even more shit. And it just, by the end of that, they ended the series because they had collected all this information, and they're like, we need to turn this in. And they did. They turned it into the FBI and CIA. And one of the agents says, this is compelling. And it's like, no shit.
Gee,
really? By the end of that show, I was like, yeah, that never happened. And why do people stick to that story? It's fucking ridiculous. It's like, yeah, Oswald was the sole gun, whatever. Like every time we turn around, it's and I've never been a conspiracy theorist, but I'm first in line to say, you know, those people I thought were nut jobs, they're fucking right. Every single fucking time you've been proven right. Prove it right. Say, yeah, I'm going to stop attacking conspiracy theorists. And that's still, they still do it. They still do it to this day. They still mock and poke fun at conspiracy theorists, even though for the last 20 years, every single one of them has been proven pretty much right, except for the guys who don't believe we landed on the moon or the whole 9/11 thing.
How can you not believe that? It was live on TV.
I totally think some are fun, Soul Assassin. I've gotten sucked into so many conspiracy theories, that rabbit hole. You find yourself like down deep in the dark well at like 1 o'clock in the fucking morning. And it's like, you know, I've got to go to bed. Oh, wait, there's another page. Hold on. Oh, and another video. Got to watch that. I'll speed it up. Hey, Jacob, how you doing, buddy? So,
wait a minute. I got to get going.
Yeah, we're going now. I'm going to end the show now. So,
well, okay.
You leave now, or you can wait till me in the show. So,
I'll wait.
Okay, so I want to thank Snorty Poopa Cuber, Emmanuel, Boosh McFadden, 11 Alpha, Shield Wall of Dragons, RRTNZ, and again, thank you RRTNZ for your super chat.
And thanks Andy for the membership.
Andy, thank you for the membership. Very good. Penny by Penny. Anyway, Sander Hammerschlag, the Comic Relief, whatever that fuck is called. Max David, Helen Play, douchebag. Helen Play, Soul Assassin. Let's see, Jacob the Critic. Thanks all for being here, guys. We're going to get the hell out of here. Wait a minute, what is this? The problem with conspiracy theories is that it's really about the conspiracy, but about the how. The how, the why, and the who is what's important. Helen Place, everybody have a great Saturday. I hope you had fun. And we will see you again on Monday when we do, I think it's Bat 21 we're doing on Monday. Another great Gene Hackman.
Yes. I don't know. I haven't checked.
It is a good film. Adios, y'all. Well, same to you, buddy. We're going to get the hell out of here. With that, everybody, if you want to say bye before I hit the outro credits, go for it.
Bye, nerds.
Bye.
Bye.
Jesus, he's slow.
Yeah.